So first question here from Steve. This is on Twitter saying, what would you say is number one for improving lowering handicap? Lessons or practice? Good question, Steve. I would say both, really. As long as you're practicing in the right areas, which often you can get educated by what are the right areas to practice in through lessons. You might be able to self-discover that information, and that's great, but you could also call that a lesson. It's a self-lesson, really, isn't it? So really, for me, it's about making sure that you're working on the right things. You know, I see lots of people very much in my lessons, when they come, focused on very much the wrong thing. So I can see why they're going around in circles. I can see why they're improving that thing they think they need to, but it isn't actually improving their game. It's not improving their on-course performance. It's the classic question, which I get asked loads: why do I play better on the range than I do on the golf course? Well, maybe you're not practicing the skills needed to play on the golf course. You're practicing skills that make your range sessions more enjoyable. Range sessions are very useful, but also can be completely worthless depending on how you use them. Give you an example. When I play, if I go and hit balls on the range, I'd go and hit balls on the range now with an iron, say 7-iron, and I'll just hit the ball pretty much at the flag most times, and I'll strike it quite well. I'll get into a rhythm, and it becomes kind of pointless, because what happens is I'll get on a golf course, and you'll see from the videos, if you watch any of my course vlogs, my irons aren't particularly darting the pin every time, nowhere near as much as they do in practice. So for me, I know I need more time on course practicing, which I haven't got time to do, unfortunately, anymore, because I enjoy making all these videos. But that's if I wanted to actually improve. I wouldn't really spend much time on a range anymore. I'd be spending a lot more time putting myself in tournaments week in, week after next, to get that kind of gaming face improved, get that kind of performance when I need it improved, that on the spot, this shot needs to happen, that kind of thing, pulling off. You can recreate that in practice, obviously, but it's very hard to recreate it accurately enough to make it pay off maybe on the golf course. So what is number one? I would say they're even. I would say practice probably just overtakes lessons, because there are people who have, you know, achieved great things without any real lessons or self-taught, even at every different level, from Tour Pro to getting to whatever, you know, getting to their 24 handicap to getting to their 10 handicap. They've achieved their goal without lessons. But then I would say they've given themselves kind of self-lessons, maybe. So it's, again, you have to define maybe what the word lesson really means. Great question, Steve. Hopefully that gives you some answers. Get a few lessons. Keep up the practice.